to warm up. Make sure that you have space around you, that you're not going to hit anything. Make sure you got some good shoes on, and make sure that you've already taken a drink and you're ready to go. We have 6 exercises. We're going to put our all into it, so full effort. And we're going to start with jogging on the spot. So here we go. So we'll jog with our arms out in front. And now we're going to put our arms on our hips. And let's go arms out to the side. And moving up and down. And in front. And up and down. Next one, we're doing jumping jacks. Let's go. These are nice and easy. You don't have to go super fast. We're just trying to get warm. Let's keep our arms up. And out. And next up, we've got star jumps. So we're going to start nice and low. Arms go out and up, and we land with bent knees. Let's try and get 5 more. And on our last one, nice landing position into that motorbike shape. Next is straight jumps. So we reach right the way up. Land, knees bent, and ready to go. Reach as high as you can each time. Land soft. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And this time we're doing knee raises. You want to get the knees up nice and high, hands out in front. These don't have to be fast, they just have to be done right. There's only one exercise left. And it's bum kicks. So we're going to try and kick our butt up the side so that you can see. We're going to put our hands on our hips. Each time, trying to kick that bum. You should be warm now. I certainly am. Only 5 seconds. Kick, 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 kick. Super. Good job.
Hi guys, it's time to do a stretch. So we're going to reach up really, really tall. Try and make yourself as tall as possible. And you can even go up onto your tiptoes and make yourself even taller. Really good. Okay. And then we're going to make ourselves into a star shape. Like a star, and we're going to twist one way and then the other. Keep your arms really straight and your legs really straight. Good. And we're going to reach up really, really tall again. And touch your knees. Keep your legs super straight. And touch your shins. And if you can keep your legs straight while doing it, touch your toes. And up tall. And one more time, touch your toes. And we're going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brilliant. Back into our star shape. And we're going to bring both hands
Next up, we're going to do a little exercise to do longer jumps. So this is good if you're thinking about doing a squat jump into a bar, but also it's good for leaps, it's good for power in your jumps. You know, it's really good for vault as well. So you're going to put down 2 markers. So we're going to use cushions because when we're jumping on, it's soft and we're not likely to get injured. So always think about safety as well. So first of all, you're going to mark out how far you think you're going to jump, and we're going to bend down really low into a squat position, and we're just going to stretch it out and see how far you can jump. So I reckon I would definitely get from this cushion onto the next one. I'm just going to make sure again, I'm going to go from the middle of my first cushion and see nice and low and land in that safe landing position, motorbike. And yeah, I'll definitely make it. So I'm going to start on cushion number 1. Make sure that you're not putting them down on the dirty floor either. Mom will get really mad. So we're going to go down, nice and low, and we're going to aim and try and jump. Okay, easy. And if you like, you can push them further. But we're going to do 3 anyways. So we're going to go turn, jump, and we're going to go back, and low, and reach. Okay, and we can jump back. So we're going to do half turns now. So jump up for the half turn, and land, and nice and low, stretch it, and jump half turn, and 1 more. Okay, now you're going to see if you can move it further and really try and stretch that jump. So I'm just going to try my one, and you can try yours then. So I'm going to go really wide actually. This might be embarrassing if I don't hit it, but at least I tried. So we're going to go nice and low. Let's see if I can do it. Now you try. See how far you can go. Don't get injured. For our next exercise, we're going to do shoulder shrugs so that we know what happens when we hit the vault. So when you're doing handstand flat drops, we need to shrug away from the vault in order to get a little bit of a pop so that we can learn how to do our handsprings. So you're going to use a mat. If you don't have a mat, that's absolutely fine. You can do this on the ground too. If you are using a mat, you make sure that your shoulders are directly above your wrist. Otherwise, when you lean onto it, it's going to move. So you want to be safe doing this. So we're getting into our front support position, and we're pulling up through the shoulders, and now we're going to shrug. So it's really, really difficult to understand and how to explain it, but you want to push the ground or your mat away from your chest. So we don't bend our elbows because that's bringing the mat closer. We're going to push away by using our shoulder to shrug. So the same way that you would do that when you don't know what somebody's talking about, you're going to do that to the front. So try it, hands out, and shrug, shrug, shrug. So we're going to do 8 on our mat. Here we go, into front support. Now these are small movements. 1, 2, 3, push it away. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, because not all of you have mats, you can do it on the floor, like I said, but you can also use other equipment. So I have a ball here. I can do it with a ball. So if it's a super big ball, like an exercise ball, it's probably going to be really difficult. If it's really small, like a tennis ball, it's not going to work at all. But a football, or a squishy ball like this will work. So again, we're going to lean on into our front support position and we're going to shrug. 1, 2, push the ball away. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it kind of looks like you're not doing anything, but when you are actually doing it, you know. Here's another thing. So baseball bat, ball, things that we have around the house. So we're going to try it with baseball bat. So again, making sure that we are leaning directly over the bat so that our wrists and shoulders are all in one line. And we're going to shrug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you find them really difficult, and they are tough, but if you find them really difficult but you still want to try them, you can get into a half angry cat position. So not here. Bring the knees back a little, and then make sure that the wrist is under the shoulder, and you can shrug. So even if you have no equipment and you find the move really difficult, you can still do it. So give it a go, make sure you try really hard, and then it's going to really work for your vault position. For this vault exercise, we're going to need something to jump over. So it's got to be relatively small. And so a little block, a shoebox would be really, really good. If you have nothing else, you have a shoebox. So first of all, you're going to make sure that you're able to jump over it and land. And then we're going to make sure that we know what to do with our arms. So when we jump up, we're going to bring the arms up and back circle around, back to our motorbike position. Okay? So we're going to jump, swing the arms up, back around, and land in that safe landing position. So to do this, we're going to put our favorite leg in front, and we're going to point that toe, and then we're going to lean in, and as we jump, our arms come down around and jump up. So we're going to try this. Favorite foot in front, pointed toe, and arms go down, back swing up, and land, safe position. So here we go. We'll try it 3 times. Leg in front, point that toe, lean, arms down. You can go higher every time. You can try to go further. There's no need to land directly over, but you do not want to land on it. Point that toe, and leg in front, lunge, we go down, and let's go one more time. The landing position is very, very important, but so is the starting position. We want it to be like we're running, so that we put that first foot onto the springboard, and then we jump onto the springboard with 2 feet. So our landing position is actually where we're going to land on the springboard. So it's really important that you imagine that. So we start, we point our toe, arms in front, we go lean on, arms down, swing, and land. So give it a go. You can do 5 more, you can do 2 more, you can do 1 more. But it's really important that you get those positions. For vaulting, the most important thing is your run. And if you don't have a good run, there's only one way to practice it. Get out in the garden, start running. Play tag, play catch, play rounders, get going, just run. That's the only way to work on your vault run, and it's the most important part. Good job. Okay, we're working on our shape for bars. guards, it's also shaped for handstand, one of the most important shapes. It's our straight shape, but we're going to do it in a fun way because it's boring that we just do it on the ground. So I know a lot of y'all have these mats, and they're very, very handy to be able to use for this exercise. If you don't have these mats, you can use 2 pillows, bring it up, 3 pillows. You be creative, but make sure that it's soft furnishings only. So we're going to start on our butt on the ground and put your elbows onto one mat. We need to make sure that we can reach the other mat with our ankles or heels. And then we're going to take our elbows away and make sure that your shoulders are still on that first mat. So my shoulders are up and my heels are up. My toes are going to point. I'm going to put my hands onto my thighs, the top of your leg. And we're going to lift our butt up off the ground into a straight shape. So pull your belly button in, but lift off the ground so that there's space between you and the floor. So we're going to try that 8 times. Here we go. 1, 2, keep your chin in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, relax. So this is going to get sore. Not really sore, it's tired. So keeping your chin to your chest. If you want to make a game out of it, you can put socks or a tennis ball or an orange or an apple or something that's round and relatively soft between your chin and your chest and try and keep it up. This time we're going to hold for 4 counts, but we're only going to do 4. So here we go. Hands back on the thighs and we lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. And again, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. Okay. So that's the first one that we do. The next one is the same, but we're going to be lying in a Superman position. So I'm going to start by putting my elbows on again and my feet onto the other mat. So we're going to put our hips down onto the floor and now make sure that your chest is on that first mat. So we're going to bring our arms down by our sides, hands to the thighs, and now we're going to lift up so that there is space underneath. And we're going to do that 8 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want to try to avoid bending at the hips, and we want to use our shoulders and our feet to lift. So try and squeeze your belly button up and keep your shoulders rounded. So we're going to do the same thing now with 4 counts, and we're holding for 4 counts. If you feel a little bit more adventurous, you can put your arms by your ears and try and keep that shape. We want to again keep the chin close to the chest. Here we go. We go arms out and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Really curve the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, really super fun to see how much distance that you can get between your body and the floor and trying to get your body super, super straight. So, you can make a game out of it where somebody can throw tennis balls underneath, and if they touch you, then they win, and if they don't touch you, then you win. So we can make a game out of it, it's fun. Good job. teddy bear or a bottle of water or something. But just something that you're comfortable with, that we can pop over our head and hold it up there. So the shape that you want is arms by your ears and your object directly over your head. We don't want it here. You don't want it here. It's got to be directly over your head. So we're going to rebound bounce. So that means that we don't bend our knees. It means that we just use the ball of our foot to bounce. So we're going to go onto our toes in releve, and we're going to bounce and not bend the knees. So you don't want to do this on tiles or hardwood floor without shoes on, because you'll hurt the ball of your foot. So make sure that you have a mat. Now, we're going to do that 8 times, and then we're going to do a different one. So making sure that we don't bend the knees and that you extend through in your elevate position the whole time. So, elevate, lift up, shrug through the shoulders, and we're going to do 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, next one that we're going to do, we're going to go side to side. So we're going to go to our one side first and concentrate on that, and we're going to do 4 on this side, 4 on that side. So it looks like this and back. Okay, so we're pushing up through the shoulders, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's super. So now we're going to join them together, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we're going to try and go forward and back. So, again, this is our rebound from the first one, but we're going to the front and back to the start. We want that arm by the ear the whole time and lifting up onto the toes, releve position. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we're going to add them all together. So we're going to go to the front, to the side, to the back, to the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keeping the ball above your head the whole time. So when we go to the side, don't bring the ball to the side, keep it above your head. Here we go. And we're lifting up, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really good job. We're going to do that one more time. And really make sure that your knees don't bend this time. Now that you know what you're doing, no bending of the knees. Here we go. Arms up, extend through your body, and we bend the foot to jump, not the knees. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Super, super, super job. Well done. So we're going to start in our tucked position. Okay, we're pointing our toes, really squeezing them pointed, hands to the knees, toes off the ground. And we're moving from our tuck into an L position. So really squeeze your arms into your ears, lift the back shoulders up. From our L position, we're going into a pike. So we want our hands to be close to our knees. And from our pike, we're going to slide into a tighter pike position. We're pointing our toes, trying to squeeze the ankles together, and getting your knees as close to your nose as possible. We go from here back up slowly to an L position. From our L position, we're going to one vertebrae at a time, so one part of your back at a time, slowly lying back as slow as you can, make a challenge out of it, and keeping the legs together. And we're in long lie position. From there, we're going to push into an arched position. So push that back off the floor, squeeze the hips up, and we're going to sit back up into an L position, squeezing that position. From here, our hands are going to come down. We're going to go fingers pointing towards your toes and into a rear support position. Again, we're pushing up with the hips, squeezing the toes, pointing, and legs stay together. From here, we are going to turn into a front support position, trying to keep your shape the whole time. And if you are feeling like you want to challenge, you're going to push forward into the planche position. So we put our toes under and keep those hips up, push up. From there, we are going to jump into a squat position. Okay, and from our squat position, we're going to do a straight jump up, really push that jump, and then we're going to do a half turn and present. Thank you. Okay, we're taking stretch with Caitlin and Jay Lisa. We're going to start by looking up, chin up, and chin down. We're going to push our shoulders away towards the ground and look to your side. Doesn't matter which side, make it a surprise. And the other side. Okay, we're going to just roll our neck very gently, one direction, and then the other direction, a lesser known band. Okay, we're going to roll our arms, big arm circles, really reaching up to the ceiling, down to the floor, moving the shoulders, and opposite direction. Okay, and here's the challenge. We want one arm going one direction and the other the opposite way. This is tough. So try to imagine that you're going through 12 o'clock, 3 and 9, and 6 o'clock. And hip rolls. Gonna really push your hips away, push them behind, and reverse order. And we're reaching one arm over, really opening the side of your chest and back, keeping the legs straight, good distance apart. We're keeping the back flat as we reach away and down to the leg. Make sure that both hands are reaching the same amount. If you cannot reach your feet, don't worry, just reach as far as you can. Going to go the opposite way. Again, opening up your shoulder angle and flattening out the back, really reaching. Legs are still nice and wide apart, not too wide, and we're reaching as far as we can to the floor if you can, to your foot, just past your knee if you can't. Every day you get a little bit more flexible. So we're reaching towards the floor, in the center. If you can try and get your elbows down to the ground. Again, you don't want your straddle to be too wide in that so that you get a good stretch. This is a butterfly stretch, so we put our heels and toes together and we're opening up our hips. And now you're going to push your knees down if you can. If you find that difficult, you can push them down with your elbows. Caitlin doesn't need to. And Jay is just a little bit less flexible in the hips, so she's going to push them down a little bit more. From there, we are pushing the feet out in front so that we're in a piked position. L going to tight pike. Pointing through the toes, head down. You want to try and get your nose to your knee. And you're going to be breathing evenly, deep breaths the whole way through the stretch. From there, we're going to roll onto lunge position and really pushing the hips down towards the floor, making sure that your ankle is in front of your knee. And then we're just going to bring the hips back. Again, trying to get the nose towards your knee, and hands are even beside your foot or in front if you can. And from there, we're lifting up the back knee. And again, we're going to push the hips down to the floor, trying to open up that hip angle. Really working those hamstrings, opening them up. And we come up, legs slightly apart, one in front of the other, keeping your heels down on the floor and trying to reach as far as you can. And if it's possible for you, slide into splits. You want to make sure that your back foot is flat to the floor. So the part where your laces would be if your shoes are on, flat to the floor, and pointing your front foot, all the toes pointed, keeping the chest up. And then we're going to do the other leg. So same idea, we want to push the hips down to the ground every time. Obviously not the whole way. And again, making sure that the ankle is in front of the knee, so you're not putting too much pressure on the knee. We're going to just tilt back, hips up, head down towards the knee, hands even, pointing your toe, and making sure that your back leg doesn't rotate inwards. And rising up with the back knee off the floor, pushing the back leg as straight as you can, and trying to drive the hips into the ground. Smiling the whole way through because it's fun to stretch. Rising up, we want our legs slightly separated. This is a really, really good stretch. You want to be getting your nose again towards your knee. Obviously, the closer that you bring your legs, the harder the stretch becomes. And sliding down as far as you can. If you don't have splits on this leg, you're still going to try. And the important part is if you do not have this split, that you keep it held at the point just before pain. If it's painful to you, then you need to come up a little bit. And you hold that. You want to be holding it for about 30 seconds, if possible. Okay, from here we're going to be stretching out our abdominals, getting a bit of a stretch in the spine. We are pushing the floor away from us, so trying to lift up the shoulders. You can put the head back if the head is not comfortable back, you can keep it neutral. And lifting the hips up and trying to get your armpits down to the floor. Thank you, Caitlin. People are kind of weird about what to do with their feet in this one. Just let them do whatever. It doesn't matter. They're not invited to the party. And hips down to the floor, pushing up. From there, we go into our angry cat position. And happy cat. So we are now pulling the belly button down. Okay, we're going to roll out our ankles. Really important if you're doing any leg work at all, which is most of gymnastics, that you roll out your ankles, you roll out your wrists and neck. So we're going to swap feet, make sure that you do both. And stretching out the wrists. So we're going to extend the arm fully, and we're going to pull down on the knuckles. Make sure that we do both hands and both sides. And Saturday Night Fever. We're just rolling out the knuckles, the wrists, the elbows, and shaking it out. Okay, and one of our last stretches is for bridge. So obviously you want to just go as high as you can. Caitlin is rocking out her shoulders right now. It's just opening up the shoulder angle. If you feel any pain in this, then you want to not go so high. And we're just going to egg roll out the back to take the pressure off. And that concludes our stretch. Thank you very much.